Arnab Goswami on the debate at 10.
Tejpal, accused of rape, thought he would get away. For 68 months, a young woman fought for her rights, fought a vicious slander campaign unleashed by Tejpal and his pseudo-backers in the Lutyens media. But tonight, when India's highest court has fast-tracked the trial against him, Tejpal's Lutyens support system has gone missing in action. We won't let them run away. No fluff pieces, no tweets, no articles. What a shame. Here's the story, and then we debate.
For 6 years, he stared at us arrogantly when we questioned him for slandering the victim.
Sir, the court has ordered for charges to be framed again.
Please, thank you.
Can we get some privacy?
For 6 years, he answered cockily when asked about his attempts to delay trial in the rape case.
Sir, why did you and your friends indulge in the character assassination?
Please, thank you. Sorry.
Sir, despite being a journalist yourself, why are you trying to stop the media from covering? Sir, any comments at all?
Please, do you mind?
Sir, any comments at all? Sir, there was a lot of character assassination done of the victim. Can you please explain to us why? Sir, why are you trying to block the media from covering the case?
Do you mind?
Sir, you're a journalist yourself?
For 6 years, his backers in Lutyens wrote fluff pieces in his favor to discredit the victim's version. Today, it comes to an end. India's highest court has rejected rape-accused Tejpal founder Tejpal's plea on quashing of charges and has fast-tracked the trial.
Remember, in this case, charges had been framed of rape and sexual assault against Tejpal earlier by a Goa court. He came to the Supreme Court against that. Today, the Supreme Court said the crime is morally abhorrent. These are very serious charges. There has been a great delay in the case. It will no longer go on. A big setback coming into Tejpal in a case where the victim had alleged there was molestation on 2 episodes that happened on November 8th and 9th of 2013. Finally, the victim will get her say when trial will continue at a Goa court.
In the last 2,096 days, the woman fought hard. She didn't let intimidation deter her. She spoke against the character assassination campaign unleashed by Tejpal backers. The Supreme Court has called Tejpal's crime a morally abhorrent one and has set a 6-month deadline for completion of trial. We wonder why rape-accused Tejpal supporters in Lutyens media are silent and hiding in their cubby holes. Let's debate.
Ranjana Kumari, how unfortunate that the entire Lutyens ecosystem came out to support this person. I will not call him a journalist, who's carried out the despicable act of rape, allegedly, against his own junior colleague. The entire system, Ranjana, all of them, Rahul Singh, Vikas Saira, should answer for these people tonight. It is the dirtiest crime. And all of these people came out and supported him because they said he's secular. Is it secular to rape, Ranjana Kumari? I think that's the question we need to ask people like Rahul Singh, Vikas, Saira, everyone.
Well, Arnab.
See, firstly, Arnab, I have always condemned.
I would like to hear Ranjana first.
He has a comment.
Let Ranjana come out, and Ranjana is a senior lawyer, has been his lawyer. Let Ranjana start, and let Vikas Singh respond. Thank you.
Well, Arnab, Supreme Court has, in as many words, said this assault on privacy. It's a sexual assault case with money and power he's trying to get away with. Since 2014, he's out on bail. He's out on bail like a free man, moving around, trying to do every gimmick possible to really get out of this whole thing. And also, really a young girl who was his daughter's friend.
Shame. Shame.
And you know the charge sheet is 2,600. I know how many pages. I haven't.
Shame. And the
just
whole
informed me.
system
The
went
charge
up to
sheet is
support a
so-
rape accused.
Every detail is there. Shame. And
Shame
look
on
at-
this
and
Lutyens
whole
lobby.
system,
Shame on the
the
pseudos.
system. And look at what. And Supreme Court had to say and order the lower court, finish it in 6 months, for God's sake. 2013, imagine this condition of the girl. What must be she must be going through.
But what amazes
Why
me-
don't these people put their head to shame? The
No,
people
no.
who are trying
They
to
are beyond shame.
who are trying to defend Tejpal.
They're beyond shame.
who
You
are
know,
trying to-
I
who
feel-
got- really,
I
it's
feel-
amazing
I
that
feel-
Supreme Court had to say
I feel
and
I'm
reject.
told
We
Vikas
tried
Singh, you have
twice,
been his
Supreme
lawyer.
Court. This is really
Mr. Vikas Singh, I'm told that you've been his lawyer.
Yeah.
Now, what is abhorrent and unacceptable is the fact that this Lutyens lobby thought it was so powerful, so connected, so entrenched, right? So networked that you could make a few phone calls and fix the system. I'm so glad today that the Supreme Court called out what was going on here today. I mean, Mr. Vikas Singh, did this lobby, and I'm told you've been this fellow's lawyer. I call him a fellow because I have no other words to describe an individual of such character. This fellow's lawyer you've been, I'm told, did this lobby feel they would slither away? And why did they? What made them so presumptuous that they would be allowed to slither away? So what if all, Mr. Vikas Singh, the entire Lutyens ecosystem can come together, but they are being defeated. And this is the most beautiful thing in all this, what's happening today, that the whole ecosystem came together. And they were thrashed, they were slapped, metaphorically, of course, slammed, exposed, metaphorically, of course. And I'm so glad it happened, because this lobby, Vikas, needs to be taught a nice, right royal lesson. Tarun Tejpal case is only an example, a case in point.
Arnab, he went around showing films.
Yeah.
Went around showing films
Character
to prove
assassination
his
on the victim.
innocence. And
Yes.
These are the same people who sat.
Look at how
yes,
daring
of
they
course.
were.
And they are the same people
Morally
who sat through all
abhorrent.
that program.
Morally abhorrent.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the pseudos. Yes, Vikas. Did the pseudos feel that they would be able to get away with this?
Well, Arnab, I'm coming on your show after a very long time because most of the time I find, it's very difficult to speak. But today I thought it will not be proper if I don't come on your program. What you are saying and what you are, starting this debate with is very contrary to the very fundamentals of Indian jurisprudence. The law in India as it stands today, unless if you were to say that there is some other law which you're talking about, is that an accused is considered to be innocent till he is found to be guilty. Now look at the facts in this case. The facts are that if something happens inside the closed room,
even Goa court
then it's
was
my
not
word
allowed to
versus your
start
word.
the trial because
Please,
of
madam,
you
I
guys.
didn't interrupt. Madam,
What
I
are you
didn't.
talking
Madam,
about?
I didn't
What are
interrupt.
you
Madam, I didn't
no,
interrupt when you were.
No, what
Madam,
jurisprudence?
I didn't
What
interrupt
jurisprudence
when
are you talking
No, I'm
about?
sorry.
6 years down
I'm
the
sorry.
line, a young
I'm
woman
sorry, madam,
has
you
to
can't
suffer
interrupt.
because you people did not allow.
If you are
You
only
went
wanting,
twice.
if
You
you are only
twice went
wanting,
to
if you are
Supreme
only
Court,
wanting,
and both
if you are
times
only
you were
wanting
rejected.
if you are
Both
only
times.
No, my question
if you are
is-
only wanting to
No,
score
I'm
brownie
wanting to
points
get the justice
and not
for
the
the
let the
victim.
other
Sir,
ones fight.
one second,
No,
Vikas,
I want
Vikas, may I, one second, I don't want Vikas to play victim on my program. One fact about my program is, let me tell you one thing, Vikas, a minute, please, Vikas, a minute, please. Vikas, a minute, Vikas, I want to speak to you. Right?
No,
Now let me say one thing. Ranjana, one thing I will not allow tonight. Ranjana, one second.
I'll keep shouting, she will
No, don't try and pass value judgment like that. It's not going to be so easy to get away with a value judgment because you and I know each other a long time and you know that when I ask the questions, they come from a substantial position. And the point that I'm making to you tonight is simply this.
Yes, of course, and I'll answer that question.
Now, one second. See, Vikas, this Tarun Tejpal rape case is one that exposes the hypocrisy of the lobby, and let me tell you why. Prashant Bhushan was the first to appreciate the High Court ordering the arrest of BJP MLA Sengar and said kudos to the High Court, and rightly so. Then why is he silent on the Supreme Court, which has ordered a time-bound judgment in the case against Tarun Tejpal? Where are the self-proclaimed activists from the lobby who called for the Prime Minister's attention in the sexual harassment complaints against BJP leaders? Why are they silent now? And the one question also which we need to consider here is this. Was there an attempt at character assassinating the victim? A, answer my question. Was there an attempt at saying there is a motive of the victim? I mean, how dare you? How dare you or anyone say that a victim of rape has a motive? How could this argument even be presented? I don't understand this, Vikas. Listen, let's be reasonable with each other. What the hell was going on, Vikas? You want to question the motive of the victim. A rape victim has a motive, according to you. You actually expect me to believe that right now, is it? What was the motive, let me ask you? What was the motive?
Can I answer now?
Yeah, tell me. No, everyone's watching you now.
That?
Yeah, sure. Sure. And by the way, charges of rape have been framed against Tarun Tejpal.
Well, firstly, no, it was actually, this is a case where we had come against the framing of the charge itself. We said that there is no case for framing of charge. So
no, you said the following, Vikas. Vikas, I correct you right now. I didn't want to interrupt you, Vikas, but I'm sorry I have to. No, Ranjana, don't. Ranjana, I'm interrupting because otherwise Vikas will say he comes on my program, is not allowed to speak. I get another protagonist in the debate. You may not like it, but there's Ishkaran Bhandari. Ishkaran, tell me, what did Vikas tell the Supreme Court, his exact words? That, my lords, there is a tailor-made attempt to malign Tarun Tejpal's image. So it was not the act of rape that was important. It was a rape victim whose sole purpose in life was to malign the image of Tarun Tejpal. Did you say that, Vikas?
Arnab, I think, I'll answer that, Arnab, I'll answer that. Just let me go my own, I'll answer everything. What I argued in Supreme Court, and what exactly I argued, because I argued, nobody else can say better than me, is that if you see the CCTV footage, which was just outside the lift, which I could obtain only after the intervention of the Supreme Court. It was not given to me. It was denied to me. It was a prosecution relied upon evidence which was denied to me, which is completely contrary to law.
That's a really excuse.
I had to come to the Supreme Court and the CCTV footage was given to me. No, just listen, Arnab. You can't just, So when the CCTV footage is seen, you are talking about an incident which happened inside a closed area.
Let's remember
where
this.
There is my word versus hers.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Nobody, everybody knows about this case. It's not. No, I need to intervene. No, because if you continue, because I need to. But I need to intervene. But I need to. No, it's not your word against mine. It's not a rape victim against rape accused. I'm sorry. No, Vikas, it's a debate program. Ishkaran wants to respond. I place on record. Vikas, let's hear both sides. Because let's hear both sides about this man, Tarun Tejpal, and there is so much anger against the individual. 1 second. I want Ishkaran to be heard. No, Vikas, I'll come back to you. I will come back to you. Now listen to me. Listen to me. Supreme Court has thrown Tarun Tejpal's play out. The Supreme Court said, why did you say sorry if nothing wrong happened? The Supreme Court has slammed Tejpal today. Tejpal has given an unconditional apology. The Supreme Court said the CCTV footage is for the trial stage. Don't deviate. Don't deviate.
You feel
don't
that
deviate.
You can, sort of throttle me.
I am. No, you don't play the victim with me. Ishkaran, what's the issue here? The entire lobby thought Tarun Tejpal is a connected, powerful individual will get away with rape. Ishkaran.
Arnab, you are not letting me make complete a sentence.
Let us be clear on one thing here. That
something has happened inside a closed room.
Let us be clear on what the facts are right now. Let us be at least clear on what the facts are as of now. Police has investigated, filed a charge sheet. Arguments were done. The trial court felt that charges have to be framed. Those charges also were challenged in Supreme Court. And today the Supreme Court has thrown it out. Supreme Court has thrown it out. So let us, as of today, when charges have been framed, we should not...
Swapnil Kothari is also on the debate.
So
she's running away out of the
Supreme Court has
you can't.
Vikas,
may I tell you one thing? May I tell you one thing?
Also, the Supreme Court has said the trial has to be done in 6 months.
No. This is really sad. Ranjana is back on the debate. I need to come in.
The front and he was following. That's what you argued in the court.
Immediately thereafter, which is disclosed in your own WhatsApp message.
No.
You will appreciate that it is
Vikas,
not shocked or who's having this kind of a trauma.
Vikas, listen here.
And the way she's having fun,
Vikas, listen here. Vikas, you got to stop and give the other side a point of view. 1 second. Swapnil Kothari is also on the debate right now, senior lawyer coming in from Mumbai. Swapnil, we are versus Vikas Singh right now. He's a former additional Solicitor General, senior lawyer. And as I said out here, Tarun Tejpal has the ability to hire big lawyers. My question is this. Vikas, hear me. Vikas, see, now my problem with you right now is not personally. You're only doing your best to protect Tarun Tejpal, but I want to tell you the bad news. It's not going to be possible. I want you to listen to the other side, and here's a presentation from my perspective. Now hear me on this. You will hear me, don't worry. Nobody's ever accused me of speaking softly. You see, first of all, let's get the audio back with... But as I get the audio back with Vikas, I want to ask Rahul Singh. Rahul Singh, and does Lutyens feel any guilt for backing a man accused of rape just because he's their friend? Does Lutyens feel any sense of apology that you allowed a middle-aged man who allegedly carried out an act of rape on a young girl less than half his age because you knew him? That entire Lutyens system has been only lobbying for rapists and alleged rapists. Is this now the depths to which Lutyens has fallen? Rahul, is there any sense of regret? Or is there a feeling that we almost would get away with it? Rahul Singh.
I'm not Lutyens, I live in Mumbai.
Yeah, Lutyens metaphorically, of course. Yeah.
Number two, I don't think anybody has looked at the political angle of this whole case. Tarun Tejpal is being put on trial mainly because of the exposes.
Am I going to listen to this now, Ranjana?
Yes, there's a political.
This is pathetic.
There is a political angle to this which has not been. It might be pathetic to you, but that's the reality.
Tarun Tejpal himself tried to pose himself as a political victim of the political system. He blamed the BJP government.
I'm telling you this.
He has done all that. He has done all that.
So he allegedly carried out an act of rape because he had a political ideology to defend. By this argument, you are saying that you allegedly carried out an act of rape. You allegedly carried out an act of rape because you had a political ideology to defend. Swapnil Kothari, what do you think of this absurdity? Swapnil, last straw of the camel's back, as they say.
Arnab, if Ranjana allows me to speak, Ranjana, please let me speak. Ranjana, you've spoken, so let me speak a little bit. Ranjana, please. Mr. Rahul Singh, I sympathize with you. Arnab, this is absolutely atrocious. There is no question about the fact there is no political vendetta here. Tarun Tejpal has committed probably an act of rape or a wrongful confinement. I'm only using the word probably only because I want to be technically correct. But I'm sure the fact that Supreme Court threw out his case, and that too even after the Bombay High Court threw out his case, he went in appeal to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, no, nothing doing, there will be a trial. So this is a clear indication that the Supreme Court is directing the Goa court to convict this man and saying that the 2,600 page charge sheet has got at least some relevance. According to Tarun Tejpal and his lawyer, there is no relevance, which they are trying to do their best to avoid the case, but that is not going to happen. And I hope that the witnesses, they have got about 150
is back on the debate. Vikas, hear that from
I don't
Swapnil
think we need 150, even 10 would suffice in this case. And I think it will be absolutely against Tarun Tejpal for the simple reason that he is in a position of a superior taking advantage of somebody who's come to work under him or work with him. And what happened inside the elevator is not he says, she says. It's not that. that easy to get away with it simply because
I think you're back on the debate, and Swapnil has presented a fantastic point out there. And Swapnil, as a follow-up to that, I want to ask Vikas. Vikas, please hear me on this. Tarun Tejpal's email words, listen to them, his email to the victim, in which he says, I apologize unconditionally for the shameful lapse of judgment that led me to attempt a sexual liaison with you on 2 occasions, on 7th November and 8th November 2013. And he later says it was drunken banter. Mr. Vikas, my question to you is this: is rape drunken banter? Please answer, right? Ishkaran is back on the debate, and please tell me, is rape drunken banter?
Arnab, 1 point. Arnab,
no, I want Vikas.
Keep in mind, from charge sheet to the trial court framing it, to the High Court dismissing it, to the Supreme Court dismissing it. So
please, Vikas, say, okay, let Vikas reply. Vikas, is rape drunken banter?
Arnab, the question of sending an apology was at a stage when there was no criminal case and there was a legal advice to sort of settle the matter and give it a quietus.
What?
Actually,
no, one second. So Swapnil is back on that. That's crazy. So you're saying, I'm sorry.
That doesn't absolve him of the crime.
That is an admission of guilt.
Rape, and then I apologize saying that it's a drunken banter. And now that the case has been filed against me, I have the best lawyer and try to get away with it. This is absolutely absurd, sir.
If there was a crime, Arnab, then the circumstantial facts will match up. The circumstantial facts do not tie up. And
there is no circumstance left, Saira. What was Ranjana is back, Saira. What is the circumstance? The fact is the man has admitted he carried out an act of rape. He has made the admission. Saira, what are we talking about? What's the legalese going on here?
Yes,
he has admitted he raped.
It's a very serious allegation, Arnab. It's a very serious case, and Tarun Tejpal has been a powerful man. So far, he's been able to influence the jury. However, the Supreme Court, the Honorable Supreme Court, took a very, very stringent decision, and it's actually told the Goa court to complete the trial within 6 months. So I think that's been very decisive, and we need to applaud the Supreme Court, because whichever side of the fence you're on, if you have committed a crime, if you have outraged the modesty of a woman, if you have been convicted already of rape, then you need to serve the sentence. And whichever side I said, whether it's Lutyens Delhi, whether it's right-wing brigade, left-wing brigade, I don't adhere to it. Whoever is an offender needs to serve the sentence.
That is do your homework first. There is no conviction in this case. No. At least tell your panelists, Arnab, to do their homework at least properly.
And there no one in the right mind
what is she talking about? I mean, she's talking completely out of her mind. She really doesn't know what she's talking about.
Don't play on a word, Vikas. The trial, don't play on a word, Vikas. Now don't play on a word.
What is she talking
Don't play on a word, Vikas. Don't play on a word. Don't play on a word. You have accepted here that your client actually admitted it. No, the fact is, Tarun Tejpal has admitted in his emails that he carried out an act of rape. And you know, the more important fact is this. The more important fact is this, that you know there is ample evidence against him. Rahul Singh, my question here is, Rahul, you know one thing, you see, she meant charges framed, by the way, and rape charges have been framed. And people across India are celebrating today. Their rape charges have been framed against Tarun Tejpal.
I never mentioned
Vikas, people are so happy that rape charges have been framed against Tarun Tejpal. He thought he would get away. Who the hell is he?
He should serve
who the hell is he?
That's what she's saying.
I say, who the hell is Tarun Tejpal? Who the hell is he, Vikas?
I said, if he gets convicted, because here the
you said he is convicted and he should go to
complete the trial within 6 months.
Well, there is a 2,684-page charge sheet.
Alleged of a very serious offense.
There is a 2,684-page charge sheet. And by the way, I want to go to the last straw out here. Ranjana Kumari, go back to the subject. Ranjana Kumari, I want to go to the subject that Rahul presented. You see, the last defense being presented right now, and I think this is the last point, really. They've got nothing left. He knows that, Tarun Tejpal, you have to go to jail. Know that, Tarun Tejpal, you will go to jail. You will go to jail. And Rahul Singh's defense, Ranjana, where he says, oh, you know, Tarun Tejpal is anti-BJP, so he's being accused of rape. I mean, does he have to try an act of rape because of his political persuasion?
I did not.
Because he's a Congress stooge.
Anti-BJP.
Do all Congress stooges have to carry out acts of rape to prove their political loyalties? What kind of logic is that, Rahul? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. You're actually saying this, Rahul?
Anti-BJP. All I said was that
what
he exposed certain...
what? Exposed nothing. He did no significant journalism. Come on now, don't try this logic.
Sexual assault
Come on.
Is not
how pathetic can you fall? To try and fall on the profession of journalism to justify your moral depravity?
A sexual assault by a person in position of power and money is associated with the ideology or a political party.
Come on, Swapnil, tell him as it is, Swapnil.
That because he belongs
Will this
here
work?
or there or whatever.
It's time for the truth, Swapnil.
Or this or that.
Mr. Rahul, yeah, Mr. Rahul, this is now tomorrow you will come out and say that the Bombay High Court and the Supreme Court judges were BJP appointees. That's why they tossed out Tarun Tejpal's case. Now this is as absurd as it can get. And one more thing, Mr. Vikas Singh, with due respect to you, Arnab is not trying to throttle you. Arnab is only trying to throttle lame duck defenses. That's all he's trying to do. He's given you full, complete ability, time to speak. And I would be very interested as a lawyer to know that how will you tell?
I wish I had more time for this.
That this email was a complete
I wish I had more time for this. Can I say one thing, Swapnil?
I would be very, very...
Swapnil, I wish I had more time for this.
I would really love to know.
I think one day we'll invite Vikas. He's come after a long time. I want a longer debate on it. I don't throttle people, Vikas. Firstly, you're welcome. I don't throttle people. I won't throttle you. But I will invite you to intellectually throttle me the next time. And I assure you I will only respond with fact. I wish I had more time for this. It's a pleasure to have all of you on the debate. Tarun Tejpal, hear me loud and clear. Your goose is cooked. I'll see you on the other side at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.